The hidden obsession mechanism. Have you ever wondered why certain people can't stop thinking about you, even when you've barely said a word? It's not luck. It's not just your looks. It's a psychological mechanism so powerful that once triggered, it can make people replay every conversation, every glance, every moment with you over and over in their minds. If you want to learn exactly how this works, and how to use it to make anyone obsess over you without even trying, watch this video until the end. And if you're serious about mastering dark psychology to gain unshakable mental power, subscribe to Psychology CMX right now. I put in the work to bring you real, practical, psychological tactics you won't find anywhere else. And your support lets me keep delivering this to you for free. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people crave what they can't fully understand or control. Their minds are designed to loop around the things that remain a mystery, trying to solve them, trying to possess them. But the more they try, the deeper the obsession becomes. When you're too available, too predictable, too open, people's minds file you away as solved. But when you become an unsolved puzzle, when you hold your energy back and reveal only fragments of yourself, you create a mental hook. People start to think about you at random moments. They replay your calm reactions, your silence, your eye contact. They wonder what you're thinking, what you're planning, why you don't need their validation. It's in this gap between what they know and what they wish they knew about you that obsession is born. This is the hidden battlefield, the unseen game most never learn to play. They obsess over you because they feel you slipping through their fingers, unable to control or predict you. If you're ready to learn exactly how to weaponize this invisible mechanism, keep watching, because in this video, I'll break down the dark psychology of obsession so you can command silent power in every room you enter. Section 2, The Power of Absence. Let me tell you something most people will never understand. People don't obsess over what's always in front of them. They obsess over what's missing. Think about the last time you found yourself constantly thinking about someone. Was it because they were always available, always texting back instantly, always telling you everything on their mind? No, it was because they pulled back. They created space, and that empty space started echoing in your mind, forcing you to fill it with thoughts of them. This is the power of absence. When you're not around, your silence speaks. Your absence becomes a mirror in which others see their own need for validation, connection, and control. And the more they don't have it, the more they want it. This is not a game of playing hard to get in a childish way. It is about controlled scarcity. It is about knowing when to withdraw your energy, when to pull back your attention, and when to let your silence speak louder than any words could. In psychology, this is called the Zeigarnik effect. The human mind fixates on unfinished tasks and unresolved situations. When you walk away at your peak moment, when they are enjoying your presence, your conversation, your calm energy, you create an open loop in their minds. They feel a need to complete that loop, to understand you, to get another taste of your presence. This need turns into silent obsession. In practical terms, here is how you apply this. Stop oversharing. Most people destroy their mystery by telling everyone everything. When you reveal less, people imagine more, and what they imagine is often more powerful than reality. Pull back at your high point. In conversations or interactions, leave when the energy is high. Don't wait for things to get boring or forced. Leave them wanting more. Be comfortable with silence. Don't always feel the need to fill every pause. Your comfort in silence makes people uncomfortable, forcing them to think about you when you're gone. Prioritize your purpose. People who obsess over their own purpose and goals naturally create distance. You are busy building yourself, and this distance becomes attractive because it shows you value your mission over mindless social validation. Understand this: your presence should feel like a privilege, not a guarantee. When you make yourself too available, people take you for granted. When you master the power of absence, your presence becomes valuable. They will think about you when you're not there, replaying your last conversation, your calm gaze, your silence. Absence also amplifies your energy. Imagine a powerful song. If it played on repeat, you'd get used to it, and its power would fade. But when it comes on unexpectedly, it hits you deeply, bringing back memories and feelings. Your presence should work the same way. Powerful leaders and thinkers throughout history understood this. Marcus Aurelius, Machiavelli, and even modern power players like Steve Jobs used absence to amplify their presence. They didn't show up to every event, they didn't talk endlessly, and they didn't overshare. When they did appear or speak, it mattered. There's also a deeper psychological angle. When you remove yourself, you give people the space to miss you. In that space, they project their desires, their fantasies, and their insecurities onto you. They begin to build an image of you that is larger than reality. This image becomes the source of their obsession. But remember, the power of absence is only effective if your presence is felt first. You must leave an impression when you are around. You must show quiet strength, emotional control, and confidence when you interact with people, so that when you withdraw, they feel the vacuum you leave behind. Absence is not about ghosting people without reason. It's about understanding your worth, prioritizing your path, and using strategic withdrawal to let people realize your value. The next time you feel the urge to always be available, remember this: if you want them to think about you, disappear at the right moment. And if you truly want to master the dark psychology of obsession, keep watching, because in the next section, I will teach you how to make your silence echo in their minds long after you've walked away. The power of mystery. Here's a brutal truth. People are addicted to mystery. They don't obsess over what they fully understand. They obsess over what they can't quite figure out. Most people ruin their power by oversharing. They want to be liked, so they tell everyone everything, hoping to gain approval, hoping to feel seen. But in doing so, they lose the one element that makes people truly think about you when you're gone. Mystery. Mystery is a psychological hook. It creates mental tension in the minds of others because human beings crave certainty, and when they can't fully understand you, they start obsessing over you, trying to solve the puzzle you've become in their minds. Think about the people you've obsessed over in your life. Were they the people who told you everything about themselves on the first day? Or were they the ones who revealed themselves slowly, who left subtle hints, who kept certain parts of themselves hidden, making you want to know more? Mystery works because of information scarcity. In marketing, scarcity increases demand. In human psychology, the same rule applies. When you share just enough about yourself to spark curiosity, but hold back enough to remain unpredictable, people cannot help but fill in the blanks with their imagination. And what they imagine is often more powerful and compelling than reality. Here is how you apply the power of mystery in your life. Speak less than you know. Most people speak endlessly to fill silence and to be liked. Instead, answer questions simply, without revealing every detail. Share stories, but not your entire life story. Share enough to spark curiosity, but not enough to allow them to fully categorize you. reveal yourself in layers. Let people discover you slowly, piece by piece. Instead of dumping everything at once, have a life outside of what people can see. Work on your goals privately. Let your achievements speak for themselves without announcing every step you take. Mystery is not about being fake or creating a false persona. It is about self-restraint and understanding the value of silence and controlled disclosure. Your unpredictability becomes your silent power. When people can't predict you, they start to fear losing your attention. They begin to question themselves. Did I say something wrong? Did I lose his interest? What is he thinking? This creates emotional investment. The human mind hates open loops, and when you remain mysterious, you become an open loop in their mind that they are desperate to close. Here's a simple exercise. The next time you're in a conversation, resist the urge to explain every detail about your thoughts or feelings. Let your sentences end with a hint of ambiguity. If someone asks, "What did you mean by that?" simply smile and say, "It's something I'm still working through," and change the subject. Watch how people lean in, wanting to know more. Replaying the conversation later, trying to decode your words. Mystery also projects strength. People who reveal everything often do so out of insecurity, seeking validation. Those who are comfortable with holding details show that they don't need validation, that they are secure within themselves. This security is attractive and intimidating. At the same time, historical figures who commanded obsessive loyalty and respect often mastered mystery. Leaders like Marcus Aurelius, philosophers like Nietzsche, and even powerful figures in modern society understood the art of leaving parts of themselves unseen. In the animal kingdom, predators are silent and hidden before they strike, while prey reveals itself through panic and noise. By mastering mystery, you project the energy of a silent predator, someone who cannot be easily read, someone who does not react to every situation emotionally. This alone makes people think twice before disrespecting you, and it makes them silently wonder about you when you're not around. And here's the final truth about mystery. What people imagine is often more captivating than what is real. By allowing people to imagine who you are, you let them create an idealized version of you in their minds, which becomes a source of their obsession. This is the third step in making people obsess over you. Using dark psychology, master the art of mystery, and you will live rent-free in the minds of others without saying a single extra word. Stay with me, because in the next section, I will teach you how to use the art of selective attention to deepen their obsession even further. The art of selective attention, if you truly want people to obsess over you. Understand this law of human psychology. We desire what we believe we can almost have, but can't fully grasp. Most people give their attention freely, hoping to be liked, hoping to be noticed. But attention is like gold in human relationships. When you give it away too easily, people take it for granted. When you control it, you control the room. Selective attention means being intentional with your energy and where you place your focus. It is the quiet, powerful act of making people feel seen, sometimes ignored at other times, creating an emotional push-pull they can't resist. Think about someone whose attention you craved in your past. Maybe they gave you a compliment once, or they laughed at your joke, or they looked you in the eyes in a way that made you feel noticed. But later, they became distant, unavailable, or simply withdrew their focus from you. What happened next? You started to think about them more. You wondered what you did wrong, what changed, why they suddenly pulled away. This is the psychological tension that selective attention creates. It is not manipulation, it is discipline. You are not giving your energy to everyone freely. You are making people earn your attention. Here's how to master the art of selective attention. Do not give constant validation. If you always respond instantly, always compliment, or always praise, it becomes normal and expected. When you withhold it occasionally, it increases its value. Be fully present when you do give attention. When you choose to focus on someone, be there completely. Look into their eyes, listen actively, respond thoughtfully. This will make your attention feel powerful and rare. Pull back intentionally. After moments of connection, allow distance. Do not feel the need to maintain constant conversation. Let silence enter. Let them wonder why you are quiet. Let your presence be felt and your absence noticed. Show up powerfully and then step back without explanation. This contrast will make people think about you when you are gone. In conversations, use your gaze, your nods, and your calm listening as tools of selective attention. People crave being heard and understood. By listening intently, you make them feel special. But when you withdraw your attention later, they will feel its absence sharply. This is the push-pull dynamic that creates obsession. You can see this in every area of life. In dating, the person who is always available loses intrigue, while the person who shows interest but remains slightly out of reach becomes the one others think about at night. In business, the mentor who gives insights but doesn't answer every message instantly is respected more than the one who is endlessly available. In friendships, the person who offers deep conversations but also values solitude creates a sense of mystery and value. Selective attention shows you are not desperate for connection. It shows you are fulfilled within yourself. And here's a deeper psychological reason why this works. The brain releases dopamine when we anticipate a reward, not just when we receive it. When you make your attention slightly unpredictable, you create an intermittent reward system in the minds of others. This is the same system that makes social media so addictive. You never know exactly when you will get the notification, so you keep checking in your personal interactions. By occasionally pulling back your attention, you trigger the same dopamine-driven anticipation, making people crave your presence and validation. But remember, selective attention is not about playing childish games or becoming cold and rude. It is about being intentional. It is about respecting your energy, your time, and your presence enough to ensure you do not give it away without purpose. When you give your attention, give it fully. When you withhold it, do so calmly, without guilt or explanation. This makes people see you as someone with a rich inner world, someone who does not need external validation, and someone who chooses where to place his energy with purpose. This quiet confidence becomes deeply attractive and intimidating. You will notice people trying harder to gain your attention, working to earn your approval, and feeling the tension when they don't receive it immediately. This is the fourth step. In making people obsess over you using dark psychology, master the art of selective attention, and people will value every moment they get from you while silently fearing losing it. Stay tuned, because in the next section, we will explore how to create emotional imprints that make people think about you long after you've left the room. Leaving emotional imprints if you want people to think about you long after you've left. You need to leave behind emotional imprints. These are not just memories, they are feelings that attach themselves to your presence, making people replay moments with you in their minds over and over. Most people walk through life making forgettable impressions. They talk about themselves too much, complain, overshare, or act in ways that are easily replaced by the next person who walks into the room. They are forgettable because they do nothing to make others feel deeply. But if you can make someone feel something powerful in your presence, curiosity, admiration, inspiration, mystery, even respectful fear, you will occupy their mind space. Emotional imprints are what make people obsess. Here's how to create them. 1. Create contrast. In your presence, people remember what is different. If everyone around them is loud, you become calm. If everyone is desperate for attention, you remain self-contained. This contrast creates a sense of intrigue. It makes them think, why is he different? What does he know that others don't? This curiosity grows into obsession as they try to understand you. To use small moments of vulnerability, mystery is important, but so is selective vulnerability. Sharing a small, deeply personal insight, the right moment can leave a lasting, emotional mark. It could be a brief story about a lesson you learned, a struggle you overcame, or a philosophy you live by. Do it sparingly, and people will feel a connection to you, making them crave more. 3. Be fully present. Most people listen to reply, not to understand. When you are with someone, listen with full attention. Let them feel seen and heard without distractions. Ask thoughtful questions that make them reflect on themselves. People associate these moments of being truly seen with the person who gave them that attention. Your presence becomes tied to their self-awareness. For leave on a high note. Always leave people wanting more. Whether it's a conversation, a meeting, or a date, do not linger until the energy dies down. Leave while the energy is still high, while they are still emotionally engaged. This creates a sense of incompletion, making them replay your interactions in their mind, trying to hold on to the energy you brought. It's the reason a song that ends powerfully lingers in your mind, while one that fades away is easily forgotten. 5. Use silence. Strategically, silence can be more powerful than words. When someone says something emotional or personal, do not rush to fill the silence with your own story. Let the silence sit. Let them feel the weight of their own words. Let them wonder what you are thinking. This silence creates a psychological mirror. People project their own insecurities, hopes, and fears into your silence, making your presence feel larger and deeper than it is. 6. Be consistent in your energy. People obsess over those who bring stability into their chaotic minds. When your energy is calm, focused, and grounded, it becomes a sanctuary for people who are overwhelmed by their own emotions. They will return to you again and again, seeking the calm they felt in your presence. Consistency is powerful because most people are emotionally reactive. If you can remain centered, you will become the anchor people subconsciously seek. Example, in practice, think about a time when someone made you feel seen, heard, or inspired. Maybe it was a mentor who shared a piece of advice and then walked away, leaving you reflecting on it for days. Maybe it was a quiet person who listened to you without judgment while others were quick to speak. Those people live in your mind not because they forced themselves there, but because they created an emotional imprint. When you leave these imprints on others, you live in their minds rent-free. They replay conversations with you, analyze your words, and wonder what you think about them. This subtle mental obsession is rooted in the feelings you made them experience. Practical application for you when you meet someone. Be fully present, calm, and composed. Share something meaningful only when the moment is right. Leave before the energy fades. Use silence and steady eye contact to deepen the moment. Maintain consistency in your emotional energy. By mastering this art, you will create emotional imprints that make people obsess over your presence, even when you say nothing. This is the fifth step in dark psychology. If you wish people to think about you, crave your presence, and feel your influence in your absence, learn to leave powerful, emotional imprints they cannot erase. The subtle power of unavailability. Availability is overrated. One of the biggest reasons people stop valuing you, stop thinking about you, and stop respecting you is because you are always available, always replying instantly, always saying yes, always there. Like background noise, they can ignore. But here's the truth. People obsess over what they cannot have easily. When you master the art of strategic unavailability, you automatically become a mystery in people's minds. They begin to wonder where you are, what you're doing, and why you aren't around as much. They start to crave your presence because you have trained them that your time and energy are rare. And what is rare becomes valuable. Why scarcity creates value. Imagine this. Two people give you advice. One is always around, texting paragraphs every hour, always calling, always offering opinions, even when you don't ask. The other appears occasionally, says a few words, then disappears. You find yourself remembering what they said, replaying their sentences, and wondering when you will hear from them again. Who do you value more? Scarcity creates tension. Tension creates curiosity. Curiosity becomes obsession. Pull back to create space. Most people flood others with their presence because they fear being forgotten. But when you are everywhere, people stop seeing you. Your presence blends into the noise of their lives. To break this cycle, take longer to reply sometimes. Be the one who ends conversations first. Leave gatherings early while energy is high. Be fully present when you're there, then disappear. This creates mental space for people to miss you. The fear of loss. Humans fear losing what feels certain. When you are always available, there is no fear of loss, no urgency to appreciate your presence. When you strategically pull away, people feel uncertainty. Did I say something wrong? Is he disappointed in me? Will he leave my life? This uncertainty forces them to value your presence more deeply and makes them question themselves, replaying every interaction in their minds. This is not about manipulation. It is about teaching people to respect your time and presence. Be a high-value presence. No validity only creates obsession. If your presence is high value when you are around, if you are cold, negative, or draining, your absence will feel like relief to others. But if your presence brings calmness, inspiration, insight, or strength, your absence will feel like a void that people will subconsciously want to fill. This is why working on yourself in silence is so important. When you do appear, your energy should be strong, calm, and purposeful, reminding people that your presence is a gift. Balance, not games. Strategic unavailability is not about playing childish games. It is about creating healthy boundaries that protect your energy while increasing your value. Be warm, kind, and focused when present, but do not be available 24/7 to anyone. This teaches people to respect your time, and paradoxically, it increases their desire to be in your presence. Real-world example. Think about historical figures and leaders. They were not constantly accessible, explaining themselves to everyone. Their limited appearances and carefully chosen words made people crave their presence. Even in relationships, people often start obsessing when their partner becomes slightly less available, prompting them to appreciate the connection more. Practical steps. Audit your current availability. Are you too accessible to people who drain your energy? Set boundaries without guilt. You do not need to explain why you need space. Slow down your replies. Take your time before responding, especially in emotional situations. Focus on self-development during your alone time so you return with stronger energy. Watch how people begin to reach out more. Seek your validation and wonder about you. If you want people to obsess over you, respect you, and fear losing you, learn to master the power of unavailability. Let your presence feel like a rare event that adds value every time it happens. And your absence will speak even louder than your words. This is the 6th step in dark psychology mastery. Become a mystery by mastering your availability, and you will live in people's minds without even trying. Mastering emotional control. People obsess over those they cannot emotionally control. Most people live on emotional autopilot. They react quickly, get offended easily, and let others' opinions dictate how they feel. This makes them predictable, easy to manipulate, and easy to forget. But when you develop emotional control, you become different from everyone else. You become unshakable. People sense that they cannot disturb your inner world, and that creates an invisible dominance that others can feel but cannot explain. Why emotional control creates obsession. Are you contagious when you remain calm in situations where others would lose control? You project strength and mystery. People become curious. How does he stay so calm? Why doesn't he get angry like everyone else? What does he know that I don't? This curiosity grows into obsession because your emotional stability becomes something rare they wish they had, and your calmness becomes something they respect, fear, and want to be around. The world is trigger happy. Live in an age where everyone is offended, angry, and reactive. Social media encourages constant emotional outbursts, quick opinions, and overreactions. If you want to stand out, do the opposite. Develop the discipline to pause, think, and breathe before you react. People will notice your stillness in the chaos when you do speak. Your words will carry weight because they are not impulsive. The power of pausing. Imagine someone insults you in public or tries to provoke you in a conversation. Most people would snap back instantly, trying to defend themselves or escalate the situation. Instead, imagine you pause, breathe, and look them calmly in the eye before saying a single sentence or even saying nothing at all. This pause is powerful. It shifts the energy back to you, confuses the other person, and forces them to deal with their discomfort while you remain in control. Control your face. Control the room. Your face is a billboard of your emotions. Most people's faces tighten, twitch, or reveal fear and discomfort under pressure. Train yourself to keep your facial expressions calm and neutral even when you feel challenged. A calm face under pressure is a sign of emotional mastery, and it makes people wonder what you're truly thinking. This mystery is what makes people respect and fear you. Don't share everything you feel. Oversharing your emotions weakens your position, while it is good to be vulnerable with people you deeply trust. Remember that not everyone deserves access to your inner world. When you express every frustration or fear to others, you become predictable. They know your weaknesses, your triggers, and your insecurities. But when you maintain a level of emotional privacy, people will begin to project their own fears and stories onto you, making you more mysterious and compelling in their minds. Use calmness as a boundary. Your calmness becomes your boundary. When someone tries to pull you into chaos arguments, or drama. Your refusal to participate sends a clear message. You do not have the power to disturb me. This forces others to respect you. They will begin to think twice before bringing unnecessary chaos into your space because they know you will not entertain it. Real-world application. When someone insults you, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? In arguments, lower your voice instead of raising it. This forces others to listen more carefully. Practice deep breathing during high-pressure moments to keep your composure. Avoid oversharing emotional frustrations with people who have not earned your trust. Train yourself to observe. Before you respond in every situation, the fear they feel when you master emotional control. People fear crossing you because they know you cannot be easily provoked. They understand that if you choose to respond, it will be intentional, not emotional. They begin to obsess over your reactions, your silences, your pauses. They replay conversations in their heads, trying to analyze what you meant, what you felt, and what you will do next. This is how you create invisible psychological pressure without saying a word. Conclusion: emotional control is the 7th step in mastering dark psychology to make people obsess over you. It is not about being cold. It is about being disciplined, intentional, and unfazed by the chaos around you. When you master your emotions, you master your environment. And when people realize they cannot shake you, they will fear losing your presence, respect your silence, and obsess over your approval. The power of mystery. If you want people to obsess over you, give them something they can never fully figure out. Human beings are naturally curious. We are drawn to what we do not understand, to what remains just out of reach. This is why mystery is power. It creates tension, curiosity, and emotional investment. Why mystery creates obsession. When people think they fully know you, they lose interest. You become predictable, and predictability kills desire, respect, and fear. But when you keep parts of yourself hidden, when you reveal yourself slowly, and when you allow people to see only what you choose to show, you keep them emotionally invested. They will replay conversations in their heads, analyze your words, your silences, your expressions, trying to piece together who you really are. They will think about you when you are not around because your mystery has created a puzzle they can't. Stop trying to solve. The world shares too much in today's social media-driven world. Everyone overshares. People post every detail of their lives, every thought, every emotion, seeking validation and attention. But oversharing cheapens your presence. It gives people too much access to you, making you easy to read and easy to dismiss. If you want to stand out and command respect, do the opposite. Share less. Let your actions speak more than your words. Strategic silence. Mystery is not about being completely silent or cold. It is about knowing when to speak and when to hold back. You can be warm and engaging while still maintaining a level of privacy that keeps people curious. When people ask questions, you don't have to answer everything. It is okay to smile and let them wonder. A mysterious person knows how to leave others wanting more after every conversation. Avoid explaining yourself. People who feel the need to explain themselves constantly are seeking approval. But when you stop explaining your choices, your preferences, and your actions, you signal confidence. This confidence, paired with your mystery, creates a magnetic aura. People will wonder, why does he do that? What does he think? Why doesn't he care about what others think? Your refusal to explain yourself forces others to respect your boundaries while igniting curiosity in their minds. Let your actions speak. Mystery is not about hiding behind silence. It is about letting your actions build your reputation. When you consistently act with confidence, deliver results, and remain composed, people will notice your behavior and wonder about your mindset and intentions. Your quiet competence will make them curious, and that curiosity will evolve into respect and, eventually, obsession. Selective vulnerability, while oversharing, is damaging. Selective vulnerability can build deeper connections. Share parts of yourself carefully, with intention. Tell stories about your challenges and values, but not every detail of your private life. Let people feel close to you without ever fully accessing your inner world. This balance keeps you human, while preserving your mystery, real-world application on social media. Post selectively and with intention, avoiding unnecessary personal details. In conversations, listen more than you speak, allowing your silence to create curiosity. If people ask about your plans, goals, or personal life, share enough to engage, but leave out enough to remain unpredictable. Avoid discussing your emotional struggles with people who have not earned your trust. Let people earn the right to know you deeply. One layer at a time. The fear created by mystery people fear what they cannot understand. When you remain partially unknown, people will be careful around you. They won't know what to expect, what you will tolerate, or how you will respond. This uncertainty forces them to respect you, and it makes them cautious about crossing your boundaries. They will begin to obsess over your reactions, your silences, your words, and even the moments when you choose not to respond. Conclusion: the power of mystery is the 8th step in dark psychology that makes people obsess over you without you having to chase attention. When you master mystery, you never have to demand respect or fear. It will come naturally because people will be drawn to what they cannot fully grasp. And in a world of loudness and oversharing, your mystery will make you unforgettable. Subtle dominance in conversation. If you want people to obsess over you, learn to dominate conversations without overpowering them with words. Most people think dominance means talking the most, interrupting and controlling the topic. But true power is felt, not forced. It's in your pauses, your questions, your silences, and your energy. The power of listening in most conversations. People are just waiting for their turn to speak. They are so eager to share their opinions that they don't truly listen. If you want to stand out, be fully present and listen deeply. Let people speak without rushing to respond. This alone makes you different in a world of constant noise. But here's where the dark psychology comes in. As people talk more, they reveal more. Their beliefs, insecurities, values, and weaknesses all surface. You learn what drives them, what triggers them, and what they fear. You gain power quietly while they feel seen, heard, and understood. Strategic questions, asking powerful, direct questions, is another way to maintain subtle dominance. Instead of giving your opinions immediately, ask questions like, why do you think that is? How did that make you feel? What will you do about it? These questions force people to think, reflect, and reveal more while you remain calm and composed. You guide the conversation without forcing it, letting your silence and questions lead the interaction. Control the pace. Fast talkers often reveal nervousness. Those who speak slowly and with calm pauses command the room. When you slow down your speech, you force others to slow down as well. You set the tempo of the conversation, signaling confidence. If someone tries to rush you or pressures you to speak, take a breath and remain silent for a few seconds before responding. This will create tension and a sense of anticipation around your words. Silence as a weapon. Silence during conversation is uncomfortable for most people, and they rush to fill it with chatter. But if you learn to hold silence calmly, you create subtle psychological pressure. Imagine someone finishing a sentence and looking at you, expecting a quick reaction. Instead, you take a breath, look at them calmly, and let the silence linger. They will start to feel the weight of your gaze and your silence, wondering what you are thinking and if they have said something wrong. This uncertainty makes them careful around you, respecting your presence without knowing why, avoiding the need to correct or impress. Many people waste their energy trying to correct others in conversation or prove their intelligence. This comes from insecurity. Instead, if someone says something you disagree with, you don't have to correct them immediately. Let it pass, or simply respond with a calm nod. You do not need to prove yourself in every conversation. Your restraint will show confidence, and people will feel your quiet power. Non-reactivity. People will sometimes test you in conversation, making provocative statements to get a reaction. When you remain calm, unfazed, and collected, they lose their power over you. They realize that you are not easily moved and cannot be manipulated. This non-reactivity makes people think twice before trying to challenge you. It creates respect and, often, a subtle fear. The subtle art of ending conversations. Powerful people know when to end conversations. You do not have to linger endlessly in discussions. When you sense the conversation has served its purpose, stand up calmly, shake hands if appropriate, and end it gracefully with a simple, "It was good talking with you. Let's continue this another time." This shows you value your time and expect others to respect it as well. Real application. Next time you enter a conversation, practice speaking 30% less and listening 70% more. Use silence intentionally after asking questions or after someone finishes speaking. Slow down your speech, focusing on breathing calmly while you talk. Observe the reactions of others when you remain calm under provocation. Notice how people begin to seek your approval and validation, drawn to your energy. Conclusion: subtle dominance in conversation is the 9th step in dark psychology that makes people obsess over you without realizing why. You do not have to overpower people with loudness or aggressive debate to be seen as powerful. Your calm listening, your strategic questions, your silence, and your controlled speech will speak for you. They will feel your presence even when you say little. They will seek your approval without understanding why they crave it. And over time, this quiet control will make them obsess over you, respect you, and fear crossing you, becoming their silent obsession. You've followed every step so far. You are no longer the same as everyone else. You are no longer easily read, easily triggered, or easily ignored. You have become a mystery, and people are obsessed with mysteries. The power of being hard to read. People obsess over what they cannot fully understand. If you want others to think about you when you are not around, you must learn to reveal only what is necessary. Avoid oversharing your emotions, plans, and personal stories with everyone. Let them wonder what you are thinking and what you will do next. When people cannot predict you, they become fascinated by you. They replay their conversations with you in their heads, analyzing every word you said, every look you gave, and every silence you held. Your mystery becomes their obsession. The scarcity principle in psychology. Scarcity increases value. What is easily available is rarely valued. But what is rare becomes precious. Most people are too available, replying instantly, always being present, and showing eagerness for validation. If you want people to obsess over you, you must master the art of strategic absence. Do not always be available. Take your time to respond. Let people feel your absence. When you are present, be fully present. But when you are gone, let them feel your absence deeply. Let them miss your energy, your calmness, your attention. Your scarcity will increase your perceived value, and people will start craving your presence, creating emotional imprints. People become obsessed with those who make them feel something they do not feel with others. Your calm gaze, your controlled silence, your confident presence, and your deep listening create emotional imprints that others cannot easily forget. They will associate your presence with feelings of respect, safety, challenge, and fascination. To create these emotional imprints, remain fully present in your interactions. Listen deeply, hold calm eye contact, and let people feel seen and understood when they are with you. When they leave, they will feel the difference between your presence and the noise of the world, and they will keep coming back, seeking that feeling. Controlled kindness can be a tool of power if it is given selectively. Be polite and kind, but do not give your warmth to everyone easily. When you choose to show kindness, let it be intentional, controlled, and rare. A calm, confident man who shows genuine kindness when appropriate is both respected and remembered. This selective warmth makes people crave your validation. Emotional control creates emotional dependency. In a world of emotional chaos, your emotional control becomes magnetic. People will notice that you are unbothered, unhurried, and unmoved by the storms around you. They will begin to rely on your calmness to stabilize themselves. This creates a subtle dependency where they come to you for reassurance, for grounding, and for clarity. Without realizing it, they start depending on your presence to regulate their own emotions. Avoiding neediness repels, while non-neediness attracts. Never let your desire for someone's approval or attention overpower your standards. If you do not chase, if you do not seek validation, people will begin to seek yours. This non-neediness is rare, and people will find themselves drawn to you, seeking the validation you refuse to give away freely. The unpredictability factor. When you are consistent yet unpredictable, you create an addictive dynamic. Be consistent in your presence, values, and standards, but occasionally do something unexpected, a thoughtful gesture, a moment of deep vulnerability, or a sharp boundary. This unpredictability keeps people interested and unsure of what you will do next, feeding their curiosity and obsession. Becoming a mirror, people obsess over those who reflect their deepest desires, fears, and insecurities back to them. When you remain silent and observant, people project their thoughts and insecurities onto you. They begin to see themselves in your presence, and this reflection can be addictive. They think about you because, in truth, they are thinking about themselves through you. Conclusion: your silent aura of obsession. By mastering these principles: mystery, scarcity, emotional control, calm presence, and non-neediness, you become someone people obsess over without realizing why. You will no longer need to chase respect, validation, or attention. It will come to you naturally as people find themselves drawn to your aura. Remember, the ultimate power is to make people feel your presence, even in your absence. They will replay your words, your silences, and your calm gaze in their minds. Will seek your validation, crave your attention, and fear your disapproval. You will become the silent obsession that lives in their minds. making them respect you, fear losing you, and desire your presence without you ever needing to force it. This is how you make people obsess over you using dark psychology without saying a word. Thanks for watching Psychology